I'm going. Yeah. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I'm going at dirty rappers, lynching dirty ones too. Hiding literature that Drew wrote to warn you. They claim to make you Muslim and make you sovereign. With paperwork and filings, it's fiat, they robbing. They don't care about his words, put out like garbage or throw it at you. When you're active, not passive. When they want to talk about like off a trampoline mattress, treat them like a vamp or a teen actress. Get stabbed with the brand like a mean savage. This inquisition divine, all others average. Millennium renaissance, heroes in our classes. Fed up with the czar controlling fascists. Ask if they heard about Moors, they say no. But Masons, they obviously know. Down the handshakes and rituals with skull and bones. They even know about owls burning Bohemian Grove. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. Dirty Moors killed Drew. I read the FBI papers on loyal Moors, emergency fund rapers. Moorish literature and divine bylaw changes. Might as well say Drew Ali was born in a manger. Prophets push poison aside and his food smelled danger. Got me treating every Moor like a stranger. Grand Chief One-kin stumbling drunk in their feds. What was proclaimed for every meeting was not read. Some Moors are so active, prophet can't be dead. Thanks Moorish teachers away, I can't be led. Actions speak, then I consider what's said. And what's said was study, then study yourself. Honest to the prophet, noble Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. Everybody wants to be just like Drew Ali, but nobody wants to care about Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. I know what Dirty Moors did. Islam, Moors. Peace and love. Yeah, they tried. Can't knock them for trying. They gotta try. It's just what it is. They just gotta try. Whatever it is that they want to try, they're gonna try. You know what I mean? We don't have any say. We're just here doing our little part. You know, like we said, we're the dust in the corner. We're nobody. We're nobody in the grand scheme of things. We're just blocks of wood pointing in a direction. You choose what you want to do. But we're just pointing in a direction. Whoever goes that way, goes that way. Don't get mad if you go that way and you weren't ready. Don't get mad at us because we never sent you there. You chose to go down that road. But not because you choose to go down that road and you get your ass beat means that we abandon you. Because we already know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. That's why I keep emphasizing it. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what they did to Drew Ali. But it's not just me. Others know as well. And they've been talking up. They've been talking up about what these Dirty Moors did to Noble Drew Ali. Looking at some Europeans like they're the only problem out here. When I say Europeans, when I'm talking about all Europeans across the planet are the devil. Because this is also their little BS Pale History Month and all that. So we have to make sure we put something on the record today to kick it off. Because Moorish History Month. You're not black, Negro, colored. Noble Drew Ali told you that. But we know what Dirty Moors did to Noble Drew Ali, why you're going to have a Black History Month. And you're going to be proud with it. And then now you have all these other cultures. They got their history month, and their month still longer than yours because you're a dumbass. I just keep saying it and keep putting it on the record that we're Moors. And that amongst Moors, there's dirty Moors. And we already know what dirty Moors did to Noble Drew Ali. But don't worry about what we say. Don't worry about what we say. Let's ask Peter Moon, the Montauk Book of the Dead. Now, we're not giving you some PowerPoint presentation. We're giving you a book reference so you can go study. Because nobody's going to save you but yourself. Noble Drew Ali's not even going to save you. His lessons might, but he's not going to save you. He been left. And don't be surprised if he left. But he murdered Noble Drew Ali. We know what these dirty Moors did. The Montauk Book of the Dead, Peter Moon. Chapter 58. Any visible threads of the original Moorish Empire had been virtually extinguished or gone underground by the time Noble Drew Ali, then known as Timothy Drew, was born into this world. By the time Noble Drew Ali came to the planet, the Moorish Empire was but extinguished. It was hanging on by a fingernail when Noble Drew Ali made his presentment to the earth plane. His fabled initiation in Egypt occurred just about the time L. Ron Hubbard was born. Until I actually composed this book, I would not have been predisposed to connect the character of Drew Ali with either L. Ron Hubbard or the research he conducted on the subject of freedom and oppression. We know what Dirty Moors did to Drew Ali. Because if they're going to go towards Scientology and they're going to get caught up in some type of health scam or whatever like that, because they were following some Scientology, and you're not going to wake up and see that people are selling you up? Because L. Ron Hubbard research was conducted on the subject of freedom and oppression. But that was for Europeans. What are they just going over there for? So that's the devil and all that stuff. That the Yakub experiment and all that stuff. Why are you going to Frankenstein to go make deals with Frankenstein? And then justify it when you sold out. Because all you had to do was come back to more science. NY, black Muslim guys. All you had to do was come back to more science. But you don't want to do that. You want to chase after the idol gods of Europe who you knew nothing. And then now people are parading around with FOI hat. They just got out on bond on some health scam stuff or whatever. And they're able to still go on people's platform and stuff like that. They can go back on the platform. after they went to court as Moors. They didn't go to court as black Muslim NOI guys. They went to court as Moors. Go read the transcripts and hear how they talk. Only Moors talk like that in court. European sovereign whoever's don't even talk like that in court. And the fact that they had Great Seal on their paperwork lets us know how high up they are in this. But they're going to tell you fruits of Islam. They're going to tell you Nation of Islam, but not tell you that they're connected to the Moorish nation. They have you thinking about some Islamic nation BS. So we know what these Moors did to Drew Ali. Everybody who's prominent today in the conscious circuit or whatever, community doing whatever, is because they sold out Noble Drew Ali. That's why they're prominent. And the ones who are struggling, who still have to go work, not the guys who are getting their hotel paid for and their, freaking food paid for and their underwear paid for, and then they can, go around and parade like they're the grand whoever. And then they sit back and then they go and take their wife to, Jamaica and go on the beach and talk about, Moors enjoying life and all this type of stuff when it was 50,000 people you raped. That's why you got to go on your trip. Don't play around, huh? Because we know what every one of you single Moors did to Noble Drew Ali, and we know what you're doing with what he presented. Because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out once you're studying. And that's how we know people don't study, which is why we've been doing kindergarten for the past how much ever years, and only Moors who study are on some adept level. But they're not wasting their time coming and talking to you or whatever. Because they know it's a waste of time. Because people don't want to wake up. Why are they going to be some master that could flick his finger and make fire and come talk to you about you're not Negro? That's it. That's all where you're at. You still calling yourself black and all that? You still calling yourself black? You still have a Black History Month or whatever. 2020, you have a Black History Month still. You're celebrating, talking about you know yourself? Get the hell out of here. People don't know themselves. Why? Because what these dirty Moors did to Noble Drew Ali, that all you people keep on the side with and rub elbows with, whatever. Hold on, I thought they're the devil and all that stuff. How you playing? You have anything to add more before we carry on with this reading here?
No, you nailed it right on the head. You're already killing them in the introduction. Okay, that came back to me when you were mentioning the sellout. And one of my biggest, when you play the song, you know what Dirty Moors did. One of my, when I hear that song, the first thing I think about was that video Canaanland had did years ago when y'all went walking around looking for the prophet's tombstone.
Yeah.
And then come to find out it's this little 4 by 4 inches by 4 inches plaque on the ground that you guys had to clear out, move the grass from, how long were you out there looking for it?
We were out there for a good 40 minutes. Yeah.
Looking around for the prophet's plaque in the ground, not a tombstone, the one that sticks up. It's a little plaque on the ground. And like I said, the song, the whole scene plays to me but these Moors, after the prophet, got walking mausoleums.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that song gets played,
yeah,
it's the first thing I think about. I'm like, I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what Dirty Moors did. I know what they did.
You better know what they did.
I know
You
what
better
they did.
know what they did.
I know what Dirty Moors did.
And again, this has nothing to do with trying to say, oh, because there's these issues in the Moorish movement, leave it, abandon it, don't be a Moor. No, we're not saying none of that. No. Don't get it messed up that we're against something Moorish or something like that because we're going at dirty Moors. And then, you know, we're calling them Moors, so you think they're our brothers. But that's not what's going on here. Noble Ali said, don't call him a nigger, call him a dirty Moor. When you say dirty Moor, we're talking about nigger-minded people. That's why everybody falls under that in the conscious whatever. Because all these people know about Noble Drew Ali. All of them know about the lessons that we're Moors, that we're not Negro black colored, but they're playing Negro black colored. When they know that we're not that. And then again, going back to NOI, they're justifying Scientology, but they're not justifying Noble Drew Ali's stuff, which that's what Ron L. Hubbard followed, but he just applied it to Europeans. Same thing that Peter Lamborn Wilson did with and Moorish Orthodox Church and all that stuff. Took what Noble Drew Ali brought and gave it to Europeans and called it something. Then when Moors do that, oh, we're violating something. Noble Drew Ali said something and we're violating it. When these people are straight going to court as Moors. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you know the Scientology NOI people who call themselves the Islam family went to court as Moors? Do you know that they went to court as Moors? They're in court right now dealing with their healthcare scam BS by some foreigners in their own land. But they're Scientology and NOI though, you know what I mean? That's why Negroes have a problem, because you're supposed to be part of the Moorish movement, nothing else. There's nothing else for you to be part of if you claim you're Black, Negro, African, whatever, Indigenous, Aboriginal, Taushenist, what, you're supposed to be part of the Moorish movement. That's why stuff doesn't work. Everybody wants to be some stuff that they're not. Everybody wants to be a fiction. Everybody wants to be fiction and not be their ancient foremothers and forefathers here again. They want to do that as Black guys. They want to do that as Africans and as Taushenist, Aboriginal, Indigenous Indians. And all that stuff is fiction and puts you under the jurisdiction of the crown or the state, period. Because nationality is the order of the day. And all these people know that Noble Drew Ali is the founder of bringing nationality to these Negroes who thought they were something else, thought they were continents and adjectives. Celebrating a month that's for a color that's not even them. Like we say, we're sitting back, we're on the high road, and we're looking at this madness. Because it's not supposed to be a low road. Everybody's supposed to be on the high road by now. 2020? Everybody's not on the high road yet? Okay, there's definitely something going on. Or something happened to make everybody not be on the high road. And we know what these dirty Moors did to Noble Drew Ali. Right? Hubbard's work was primarily about the imprisonment and freedom of the spirit. Although Ali and Hubbard might not appear connected at first glance, there is quite a rhyme and rhythm between the two. On the surface, Ali's work might be misinterpreted to appeal primarily to a displaced people and a cultural heritage. As my friend Hamza Bey has taught me, the more you learn about the etymology of the word Moor, the more you realize that it is a spiritual identity that ultimately has very little to do with racial or cultural identity. This is a European telling you this. You think all these Europeans don't know who the Moors are? The original Moors had no distinction along racial lines. This is why, actually, an invented distinction to sow seeds of discord among people and to facilitate the disruption of what might best be termed your own infinite spiritual potential. This is what they were receiving when they came into the Moorish movement of sound mind. Your own infinite spiritual potential would be unleashed. So you can take whatever position it is that you have to take based on the alignment of the stars and when you came onto this earth plane, so that this could be something. And of course, not anything for us, because all this is for the young and unborn, so that they can reach their own infinite spiritual potential before we did. The de-oppression work done by L. Ron Hubbard was the first time he ever initiated techniques that literally began to reach out and restructure the environment on a wholesale basis. It began with the Sea Org itself and then the Scientology community, but it was spreading with the wild abundance of a forest fire before the fire department came to put it out. As I said, the seeds of his de-oppression technology were said to be based upon the most fundamental purpose of life itself. We are talking about a principle that can literally raise the dead. This is the same stuff which can rearrange matter and change the entire universe. Of course, in de-oppression, we are primarily talking about reviving the esprit de corps of a group of people and taking the yoke off their operation. This is, however, a closely related cousin of the fundamental ability to raise the dead. The problem, as L. Ron Hubbard stated, was that once people are free, they demand more and more freedom. Anyone standing in the way of that freedom becomes fair game to the people who are demanding the freedom. How Noble Drew Ali fits into this equation at first glance might not be as exotic as what I have just said. As the story develops, however, it might be viewed as more exotic. In the end, however, they both part and parcel of the same principle, declaring your lost heritage as free and infinite beings. Now, instead of staying with the program, instead of changing the sign and talking about Islamic nations and stuff like that, and they're black Muslims and all this, should have stuck with the program, that they're Moors. They should have just kept wearing the fezzes. Why would they ban wearing fezzes? Why would they put a ban on wearing fezzes? Because remember, it was all about destabilizing the Moorish movement. So these people who leave and form something else, now their job is to make Moorish Science Temple look like that's nuts. Come follow us. Which leads right into one of the top 10 things that new Moors need to look out for when they get into this paradigm. And they think that this is just about some, about your heritage or whatever. No, this stuff is deep. There's 100 years of existence that we have with this. So don't take this lightly. So look at me. I'm the one, follow me, Moors. And these are no particular order. These are just things that we see going on out there. That if people were aware of these things, they would save themselves and not allow themselves to be played by somebody. And then they go save themselves. You don't need to go through all that BS. Let you know what to look out for right now off the top. So the wannabe, the man Moors. These are the people who are like, the infomercial people? Okay, that's what they are, but for their own Moorish whatever. Because they're always going to put Moorish on it. They're always going to put, their logo or name or whatever in it and make you think that they have the whatever, so you should ride with them or go with them. They have the right. They're not telling you be your own infinite potential. They're telling you go this way that we're going. Don't go. If they're not telling you to be your own free thinker, don't go. Leave those Moors alone. And again, we're saying Moors, we're generalizing everybody because it's Moorish History Month. Ain't nobody black, Negro, colored, African around here. Ain't nobody indigenous and aboriginal. All those are adjectives and continents. People aren't those. People have nationalities. Moor is our nationality. That's who we are. We're Moors. Everybody knows this. It's not some stuff that we're just saying. Everyone knows this. Everyone knows we're in our own land. Obviously, we're indigenous. We don't have to say that we're indigenous. Obviously, we're that. What is every Asiatic on this planet? They're indigenous to wherever they're at. The planet's our home. All of it is ours. Now again, Noble Drew Ali is where the lesson should have been going. It shouldn't have strayed off into madness that you're hearing people talk about. Right? Again, people who change the sign, make up some new thing and have people follow that. This is the follow me more mentality. They're not telling you about teachings and principles and whatever like that. They're telling you about their whatever. And they have a timeline of who was the first whatever in their whatever. That's why I always tell you that when you go to certain jurisdictions and you're a Moor in this jurisdiction and you go to show your ID for something, whatever it is, and they're telling you, we're not accepting your ID because the real Moorish whatever are those guys over there. And this is a foreign, modern European telling you that. And they're telling you we're not accepting anything from anybody who's not with them. And then, like we say, we're not talking about generalized proclamations that are for Moors as a whole. We're talking about a city is looking at some Moors and giving them a personalized thing because they're quote unquote good citizens in the city of whatever, which we know are corporations. And they use that attention to say, follow them. But really they're selling you out to your birthright because that's just a club that they're running. That has nothing to do with nationhood.
The clickbait.
Right? Because they got something from the city, that means that they're whatever. That doesn't mean anything.
That's colonizing. That's how another thing. Once you getting something from them, and you're trying to make it seem as like you said, we're the guys. Now come join us because we're the guys. That's not nationhood. They're doing clubism. They're doing Boys and Girls Club. They're doing YMCA Planet Fitness. That's what they playing. That's what they doing.
Right. Remember.
Because there's no.
Go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Yeah, because there's no Chinese people going around talking about join us. We're the so-called Chinese nation. We're the real Chinese nation.
We're the real Chinese over here.
We're the Chinese.
Yeah.
We're the Chinese. We're gonna or like I've never heard no Chinese say, because of the church or the Buddhist temple, people using our names, we're gonna go sue them for using Ying Li and all of this. Like what? None of that. Never. Only dirty Moors, sellout dirty Moors would do something like that. Try to patent the national title of the Moors. Like, that's amazing. And then try to sue your brother who would try to proclaim his nationality. Now you're going to sue him because he didn't come to your YMCA. Yeah. I mean, your Moorish Science. Like, now you're going to sue him. Like, that's fraud. Because anyone who's trying to be clear on who they are by declaring their nationality, they're not trying to do it as join some temple and sing hymns and read quotes from Noble Drew Ali. They're trying to get themselves out of the rut that they on, that they in or whatever.
And not because they're some criminal or something like that, but they want to better their life. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not everybody who has some situation, and they can't get out of it. That's why they came to Moorish Science. That's a fiction.
No.
Because Moors talk like that. Moors talk like, oh, see, well, they had their children taken by whatever. So that's why they said that they're Moors. That's not a reality.
Nope. Because we can break down that whole thing, knowing that we're under the Spanish Inquisition, and anything set up for our children to get taken is all because of the whole line of stuff that they put in place of us for us to get our children taken. Like we we don't have any airplanes, so we know who's bringing in the drugs. They told you who's bringing in the drugs. Because it's a whole list of things. You know, we not the ones that's distilling the alcohol or whatever. Mm-hmm. That's them. They control all of that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the reason, you know, causing destruction on us. But, you know, we can take some responsibility because of our ignorance. You know what I mean? But then again, every time you turn, you don't have a choice. You know, the public school system got you thinking this way. You know, so, and then, like you said at the end, well, she got her children taken away. But you just skipped all of that.
Yeah.
You just skipped all the setup boundaries that made her, you think
that made that
wants
happen,
to be thinking like that? Or he wants to be thinking like that for his children to get taken away? No. Nobody wants to be like that. Nobody is purposely going around, growing up, with thinking, oh, when I get older, I'm going to get my children taken away. Nobody's thinking that. Nobody's going around thinking that way. Nobody. It's set up for that. That's all it's set up. But they don't see that. They think, oh, she got her children taken away. Like, nope. It was all a setup. The whole thing. Yeah. And it was commercial too, still business, still human trafficking. Nobody's even looking at that. She got her children taken away. That's human trafficking. Yeah. Because I know somebody made a profit off of taking your children.
Somehow, some way, some shape, some form, they made something.
Well, you know it.
They made something. That wasn't free work.
Somebody's punching in to come to your house to take your children. Yeah. They got paid for that.
They got paid for that. And then
so
people, and then the same
to open up the business, the whole thing.
Yep.
But you're gonna blame her. That's the sellout, dirty Moors.
Which is why, again, when we go back to the 10, another one on the list is the Moors that teach against civics. They teach against knowing law. They keep telling you about we're a nationality and we have a flag and whatever, but they're not nationals, they're citizens. Like, how is everything else national, but then your citizenry is citizen, not national, but everything else is national?
And then lie and say that's what the prophet brought. That's what they do. Well, lie. Well, you know, the prophet brought. Oh, okay. All right. Here we go. And they say something that has nothing to do with what you brought up, because we all know the prophet said, "You better enforce that Constitution." The prophet said, "You better enforce that Constitution." And like the master teacher Todd said, there's nothing higher than civics. That's the supreme law of the land. There's nothing higher than civics than that, than the Constitution. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's the joint. That's the supreme law of the land. So, like, how can we not go over civics?
And blatantly be against civics, not even secretly being against civics. Openly against civic instruction, which is necessary to be a better citizen. Like, you can't be a better citizen if you don't know about your rights. How are you a better citizen if you're telling me about statutes and codes are the supreme law and the state law is the superior law?
Which is putting us back into slavery.
Moors telling you this, not some Europeans. Moors telling you.
That's the crazy thing.
Moors telling you that you're Walmartian. You're Burger Kingian. Because you went and shopped at the convenience store, you're a convenience storian. And then they're telling you.
And they do that. Look at them.
And they're saying,
my block.
Yeah. They're crazy.
that? See what they got us doing now? To that part now. Now in our head we think, oh, that's my block. Cause you're a bodegian.
Yeah.
You're a bodegian. Now this your block. Okay. Okay. That's it. And Dirty Moors, they pump that. That's what they pump. And we're citizens. No civics. This, it's the same thing too. It just seems like they want to just sing kumbaya and 14th Amendment citizens.
Because remember too, we're looking at the conglomerate of activity, right? Of different individuals, but all these are traders. All of these are dirty Moors, right? But they're splintered into these 10 ways. Like, so we're not saying this is only people with fezzes and turbans. When we say dirty Moors, we're talking about there's black guys who play the look at me, whatever stuff.
Yep.
There's African whoever that they don't teach civics. They never even read a constitution. But they're talking about some spiritual, read cards and all this type of stuff. They don't even have a nationality. You think they're really channeling from where they're supposed to be channeling from? If they're not in tune with their natal origin, they're not going to be their messages aren't going to be clear. Like I've gotten readings from Moorish oracles and African oracles, and Moorish oracle stuff is always more on point. Not part of the time, always more on point. Because through your nationality, there's a divine connection to the message. The message of Noble Drew Ali saved many people. And people who realized what the power of this was, usurped it, and presented it in their own form without giving honors to where they got it from. But in doing that, they eliminate certain things that are supposed to be standard lessons. Again, going back to this idea that the dirty Moor expansion goes into all the different schools of thought in whatever culture. You're going to talk to some Buddhists who are going to tell you about some dirty Buddhists. That they take the Buddhist teachings and they're doing perversion with it opposed to the true teachings. Not just Moors. The nigger problem is everybody's problem. You know what Drew Ali said? Don't say nigger, call him dirty Moor. Okay, so the dirty Moor problem, because nigger is across all boards. Nigger's not limited to just our people. There's Europeans who are nigger too.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying dirty Moors don't get fezzes and turbans in your head, and you're just looking at, that guy with a fez over there who's not teaching civics, he's a dirty Moor, but Umar Johnson's not because of whatever. No, he's a dirty Moor too.
No. No.
You know what I mean? Or some.
His house is dirty. He dirty.
And again, people could change tomorrow and stop doing madness. Are they going to? Probably not. Probably not. Because they are who they are. They're going to do what they do. And again, we already have our birthright. We're doing you a favor by putting this information out. You know how many Moors have info, they don't put it out? You know how many Moors have, and I'm not wronging them for not putting it out. Because majority of people have follower mentality. So you're going to end up, having to spoon feed them through all the stuff that you put out. And it's so deep that, you're not going to really get it spoon feeding. You're going to have to get Chinese water torture. For you to really take this. Just as Noble Drew Ali tried to lift the veil of deception from the Moors and their heritage, so did LRH try to lift the veil of deception from spiritual beings and their true nature. It is therefore not really ironic that by giving a proper and respectful funeral service for LRH, I literally gated the Moorish science temple into my life. To remind you, when LRH wrote his work on oppression, he stated that the only place left in the world with even a vestigial element of freedom was the United States. This can now be attributed directly to the Moors. None of this would be known if it were not for Drew Ali and the dynamic movement he created, which began to flourish and reach its critical mass in 1929. The recognition and uncovering of oppression of Moors is part and parcel of delivering the best promises of what Scientology in its most exalted aspects had to offer. This is what this European is telling you about Noble Drew Ali and the Moors. You should be dumbfounded that you don't know. Again, remember, all this stuff that we're going to be going to is proof positive that Noble Drew Ali came for the nations. He didn't just come to us because we needed him the most. He came for everybody. And anybody who implemented his program had something. When Moorish science reached its peak in 1929, it was on the heels of one of the greatest but most dangerous discoveries Drew Ali ever made. In 1928, Ali attended a Pan-American conference in Havana, Cuba, where he enjoyed broad recognition from a host of other countries. They were, of course, recognizing his sovereign status as a Moorish national who was representing the ancient empire of Amexem. Pan-American Conference, Havana, Cuba. Now, you go on Google Images and you look up Noble Drew Ali Panama hat. And the picture's gonna come up with him sitting down with his legs crossed, holding two flags, wearing a Panama hat. That's the picture from the convention, Pan-American Conference. When you do your research on the 6th Pan-American Conference in Havana, Cuba, you're going to realize that there's not too much information on it. But there's enough information on all the rest of them. But for some reason, the Havana, Cuba one, there's not too much information on it. Now, I don't know. Something's definitely up.
No, something's definitely up.
Like,
Something's definitely
you
up.
know, it's just like, you know, we got audio of Marcus Garvey. Why when there's no audio of Noble Drew Ali?
Mm.
Like, how come? They're around at the same time. Right.
I think some Dirty Moore got it.
Yeah, probably.
Got it recorded. I don't even blame the European no more. It was all the Dirty Moors. Once I just start digging, I'm like, it was the Dirty Moors. It was the only thing the European did was give them the offer. And they took the offer.
And they took the offer. Yep. Right, again, this is when you check again. All right. Keep in mind that other countries had no reason to fear Drew Ali or what he represented. If countries have no need to fear Drew Ali and what he represented, then these private foreign European corporations definitely have no reason to. So why are these Moors talking about they don't want to stand up for their rights because Moors get arrested or not? These Europeans don't fear what Moorish science really is. They know what's up. It's our people who know what's up and then take advantage because they know, or our people who just don't want to know. It was at this conference, however, that he received the document which was to change the face of Moorish science forever and would eventually lead to what is known as the Great Schism. That is the name the Moorish community uses to refer to the dispersal of Moorish science into different groups.
Yep. 30,000.
The name. The name. Right. The Moorish community uses to refer to the dispersal of Moorish science into different groups. So when Noble Drew Ali transitioned, everybody who had what Noble Drew Ali presented dispersed, started calling themselves other stuff, started saying that they're Noble Drew Ali, or even leaving Noble Drew Ali out and say that they're the prophet, or say that Allah sent them.
Yeah, they're reincarnated Noble Drew Ali.
Right, Noble Drew Ali reincarnated because this Moor hit his head and woke up and he had a crescent star in his eye. So he's Noble Drew Ali come again. Or Moor sat in the seat that Noble Drew Ali sat in and say, oh yeah, the spirit of Noble Drew Ali has just taken me over. I'm your prophet. I'm back and all this. People going with that. People went with that.
Yeah.
Right, which is another one of them on the list. The naturalization wars. The Moors who are trying to force you to come into the temple in order to be a Moor.
Right.
They can't do that. They can't do that.
Real quick question. When they naturalize you, does that put you under the 14th Amendment?
It would appear like it does. Oh, hold on. More just made a request. 1 second. Hold on, more.
Yep.
Hold on 1 sec, Morris. We'll just be adding something on right now. Islam, more.
Peace, love. Peace.
Yo, what's good?
All is well.
I just saw the message, yo. That was my bad. I just saw the message.
It's all good. It's all good. Oh, that's Brother Amazite. Islam, boy. Islam, man. We on the air, right?
Yeah. We still on.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me put this on the record.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All different islands, the nationalities. All honors to all mothers, all honors to Prophet Ali, all honors to everybody that's sucker free here, and the dirty morals, you know what's happening with it. So I'm gonna Mother's Day, all right, so I'll live with this. So check this out. So a group of nations.
Oh, hold on 1 sec before you continue. Just you're on your headset.
Yeah, let me take it off.
Yeah, just or you could just talk in the mic more.
Okay. What about now? You can hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little better.
Okay, cool. So I was approached like every year around my solar return, which is tomorrow, February 2nd. They all like this stuff. Every year, two Moors, I don't know their name, always make me an offer, to sell out. You know what I'm saying? I can do more work on the dog side. So we did a show. Me and Cujo did a show. I think about 2 weeks ago, a week ago, and what happened was I got approached by some bullies. Once again, some Mason boys. They said, "Look, Amazon Mother's Day, we don't want you operating in our territory, and if through there's protocols and rules you got to go by, and we don't want you really to wake up. You're supposed to take the information and use it for your personal family and friends, and create the whatever you need to create. But we don't want you to wake up these people in a certain territory." Now look at that. That's what they told me. That's what they told me straight up. You know what I'm talking about? They want me to come get these and I ain't gonna quote it, but I ain't gonna the words they said, but basically come on the dog side, get that fence with that scimitar, and rock out. Now these wasn't Europeans. Nah, these straight up Moors. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Yep. They was bashing the mother and everything, talking about the mother got too big. That's why they got the scimitar, and they ain't afraid to use it. You know what I'm talking about? And if I keep continuing talking about the corporation, any fiat that I acquire, you feel, they gonna put a stop to it. This is what these brothers that look just like you and I. And every year they got two more elder Moors. I don't know their name. They always tell me to go to the bank and come get this money. You feel me? I said, why me? It's like, they got certain Moors that do stuff. All the Moors is important, but you Amazon Mother's Day, nah, you can't. We don't want that. All this is crazy to me, man. I don't even know. I'm not shocked, but I'm glad it's on the tape because I know this is what they got to do.
Yeah.
Because with you being out there, that means somebody's putting their foot on their neck. That's the only reason why they bothering you. I ain't really doing that. I just been doing my homework and research. You know how we do before we make moves. You know what I'm saying? You got to do your homework.
for that, they're like, nah, nah.
Yeah, they didn't like the answers you was putting on that homework.
Oh no, they made threats. They made total threats, man. They made straight up threats. Like, really? They're like, none of the Moors gonna come help you, your family, none of that. I said, really? I said,
Yes.
Yeah, that's the they know how to give you some subliminal threats. They know how to do that.
Right. It was the rat.
Oh, they didn't even sugarcoat it.
Nah.
Because I remember you telling me, you need some more to be at where you at. And I didn't know what you was getting at. But now it's all out on the table. I was like, oh, okay. Now I know what he was talking about. He really needs some more where he at.
They say they don't want me out there. I'm going to draw a crowd. And any more assist me, they going to draw a crowd. So this is what they say, not what I say.
Yeah.
And again,
I got the paperwork.
And going back again to this whole thing about the different jurisdictions, that are Moors, but see, like when we were in Pittsburgh, when we went to Pittsburgh, and we went to that temple that didn't have a sign and all that stuff, that thing was a whole different realm. Like they have a vortex.
They brought that up too. They said, nah. They said, yeah, up north, yeah, you get away with it, but down south, I mean, we was bamming on the temple, though.
Yo, knocking the door. Nothing.
For real.
I'm like, I be forgetting sometimes when you put it together, it's like, oh yeah, we was going hard.
Yo.
They put a couple of good Moors together, and they went around banging on doors. Banging on doors. What's going on? What y'all doing? Just banging on the doors.
Crazy.
It was like said, this is my green sheet. I was like, oh yeah, it's about to go down. We was and they, that was the windows. They had the stripper windows on the thing. I remember that whole thing, man. That whole thing was crazy.
They had the nudie door, the nudie spot windows.
Yeah. The old school ones. The old school.
The jailhouse one.
Yeah.
And they had,
so you can't see
the
them.
reincarnate. They had another prophet's picture next to the prophet's picture.
Yeah.
The reincarnate. All of that.
When we went to that church and they opened the door, I was like, man, what the hell? Like, we in there. They're like, yeah, we get in there. You're like, what? Yeah, we gotta go in there.
Yeah, that whole thing was crazy too.
Yeah.
We witnessed this. That's the church. We get in the church. They all worshiping us. we all on the mausoleum, like on the forefront. The big pictures of like so-called Mary and Jesus. All dark-skinned people. All of them inside this church. When we went inside, it was crazy. I was like, there's dark-skinned people in here.
Put this on the record. If y'all think Europeans don't know what's up, they know what's up. Because guess what? When we had a convention, these brothers, we was walking the block, and they had a European say, I'm a Croatian American, and I'm under Moorish law.
Yep.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop trying to trying to like appease these people. Like, you know what I'm saying? These people talking about, oh, we need to have this and that. Stop trying to do what they doing and do what we need to do. You feel me? And talk a big, because this is gonna be recorded. Talk a big, bro. All y'all dirty boys out there. You know exactly what y'all doing, man. Exactly what you doing. Because But this is so-called America in modern time, you feel me? So anymore. And the treaty said anymore. So so-called Canaanland, so-called United States is on paper, man. Stop playing, bro. Just do the damn work, man. So you gonna play church? Play church, man. And sit your butt down, man, and stop playing, like, for real. This ain't your business. Because a temple don't make you a Moor. You're a Moor by blood and pedigree. Straight up.
And again, with that...
Say it again, more. Say it again, more.
I said you're a Moor by blood and pedigree.
Yep.
DNA. Not by no doggone temple. Not by no church. You know what I'm saying? And all out of the prophet knew what you are leaving. But guess what? Before he came. But guess what? He brought it back to consciousness. He said, look, your history don't start here. You understand? So all these Moors that's listening to, you got businesses and procedures. You need to come together, man, and put that stuff to work, man. Stop playing out shit, man. These unconscious Moors, they don't want it. So we got it. Get together and just do the work. All that crying and fussing for views and stuff, that stuff is minute. What we gonna leave for these children, man? They can't even stand up, and the women ain't gonna stand up because all they do is bickering. They won't have church. Church this, church that, temple this. The prophet said what? Study, study, study. You understand? He brought law, culture, history, spiritual awareness. You feel me? Awareness about our forefathers that been on the planet. We said we Moors, we claiming the whole thing. Not just one piece.
Straight.
Like, for real, man. That stuff ignorant, man. For views and stuff. For views, for what? Like, what does that make this sense if you standing in your house ain't doing nothing? The people on the byways and the highways.
Right.
Now the byways and the highways is the damn internet.
Right. Straight up. So again, what we covered so far, naturalization Moors, right? The naturalization Moors. These are the petition Moors. Moors who want to do petitions for everything. Moors thinking that some European president is in their favor or whatever. Playing the game.
They call him commander-in-chief, right?
Right.
Right? That sounds like a Moorish title.
Mm-hmm. For real.
Straight up. Even though we know it's fraud and it's corporation, man, stop that. It just don't make no sense, man. We can go deep. You know, I don't even put some of the knowledge, you know what I'm saying, I can put out there because it don't make no sense to put it out there.
That's what we're saying.
You know, most people put it out there stunt like, man, nah, they put it out there for the people, man. But at the same time, man, they need to correct their ways and do it collectively. And all y'all Moors trying to sue and all that, sue for the nation, man, not yourself, man. Mm-hmm. Like, stop, you know what I'm saying? If you got to handle your business, do it accordingly, but do it, make sure the nation's on that, man.
Right.
Yeah, we got individual battles, but make sure it's the nature. And forward that. Put it on the website, forward it, man.
And that's the whole point of, you know, opposed to getting a notary seal, use witnesses. So you can put your nation on it. Not just you have a flag on it, that means that you're Moorish. But if all your witnesses are Moors, then that's more power to you. Because it shows that you're tied to a nation. You're not an individual. You're not an island of turtles talking crazy.
That makes no sense, man. All these Moors talking about they got businesses and stuff, but I don't see them doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? But for self-gratification, man.
Yeah.
One more say, look, if we support each other, talents and gifts, we can move forward. We'll never have to worry about nobody. Stop like these so-called conscious Moors keep talking about the Grammys, this and all that. Make your own Grammy.
Mm-hmm.
What you need them for? You got a whole channel, a whole network. You know what I'm saying?
They got more than that.
TV and all that.
They got
They
more
don't
than
want
that.
support.
No, but it's like you said.
Yeah, they got more.
It's like you said, the self-gratification, which goes back to one of the branches of these dirty Moors that you need to be mindful of. The self-gratification people. The people who are doing this for every reason that includes themselves. And never leaving themselves out of it. That they always got to be there. You know, always have to have some type of say or input or whatever like that when, you know what I mean? This is supposed to be collective effort.
Yeah, collective apple, man. Like, now, you know, they got MoneyGram, they got Cash App. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Western Union come up with something. They got PayPal. Like, what's up? $5 up. Let's do something with it. Let's be collective. Let's treasure all that good stuff. Put that, all these processing stuff, put it to collective together and do something, man.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Because these dirty Moors getting all the shine and all that.
Yeah. Charging $500 a package and going to the mall with it. 5,000 for packages and they going to the mall with it. You right?
Oh no, you saw the dude. He said 500 all the way to the $1,000 for free for the class and for dinner. What? Well, I forgot the Moor. I forgot if you talking about he a street Moor and this and all that council, whatever this guy is talking about. Talking about he a street. I'm a street Moor. Now what? I won't. With my son, all around this corporation, every territory. I went from New Orleans all the way to Pittsburgh. All the way. I don't been in buying doors. I don't been in whore houses. You feel me? I don't been in rich houses. And everybody know what's up, man. They waiting on them like, what you know what I'm saying? We got Moorish parades and Moorish Holy Week. That shit, like, it's weak. Like, what's up with that? Like, come on, we can't put a parade together to bring awareness? Like, they got LBG community, man. I ain't talking about, like, and now let me put this on the record. If you gay, it has nothing to do with that's your sexual preference. That's like the flavor of the month. Like, if you like ice cream. If you gay, you still a Moor, no matter what. Period. But what I'm saying is they collectively organize and they get funded with their parade because they put bread in people's pockets. You got to start handling the business. No matter what, it ain't gonna come easy. But at the same time, collectively, man, these parades in these cities and stuff, they need to be looked at. And all y'all Moors with y'all businesses, man, look, get in touch with Cujo, man. Support them. Send something, man. Support all the Moors that doing something. You heard me? You know, I support Moors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta do that. You gotta do that. It's only natural that you support Moors. And again, that thing of the whole idea of not just supporting, but supporting the ones that are doing something.
Right.
Big difference. Big difference. You could support Moors all day, but if they're dirty, you're giving your finance for nothing. The little finance that you got that you broke your back for or whatever like that, you're giving it to these people to go give it back to the foreigner.
Correct. And I know for the record, on the record, I can call Yusuf or Cujo, and it ain't nothing. I can call Sagrad Bey. I can call Mario Bey. I got the receipts. It's nothing. I can call RV Bey. It's nothing. I don't call Tosh. It's nothing. It's nothing. Like, when you talk to these brothers, it's nothing. What you need, bro. If they got it, they got it. And they sending that without no question. So I don't know what y'all talking about. Y'all dirty Moors talking about, okay, and then Tak, I'm gonna get back on you, Tak. This Amazon with my you got my number. He gonna put the video out there. He gonna put the video out there with the brand and blow it up and make them look distorted and stuff, man. You know what the hell you doing, man. And you talking, he violated Act 3 by talk. No, you're a dirty Moor. And if you a Grand Sheik, right? You a Grand Sheik of the temple. So if you on your higher, even if Cujo going off, you ain't supposed to stoop to that because you violated. So what's the problem? You're a dirty Moor. We supposed to be sit there and just let you do that? The prophet said if he find a boy ain't doing nothing, what are you gonna do? Now how you like that? Talking about the prophet and brought this and brought that, man. What you mean? He brought everything. Everything. And on the cover, he got the woman. So don't sit up there and say, oh well, you know, he got the man and all that. Nah, because the women they can't step up because the men is cowards. Or they playing the leader games with the information. Knowing they do all kind of stuff, they in cahoots with all these colonists, you feel me? And they make the Moors, you feel me?
Guys are like the more said one of the Moors in the chat was asking about temple number 13. Right? And again it's going along that same theme.
What that temple at?
The Baltimore temple. The Kirkman Bay Moors. Basically,
they kicked me out of that.
The Givenzell and the Kirkman Bay Moors, right?
They kicked me out of that. I went up by myself. They kicked me out of that. Oh no, Amazon, you can't come up here. Quick.
So when you look
this
at,
ain't nothing I'm making up, guys.
When you look at, well, check this too, that Bratton Bay, who's the head of Temple 13, he been had sit down with Taj Tariq Bey. And these people aren't interested in liberating the people. They have their agenda. What's up with Temple 13 is that they are the ones who naturalized Farrakhan. How come they're not talking about that? And how come NOI is not talking? How come NOI is not talking about that? Why is NOI not talking? Why are they telling people Scientology when their leadership got Moorish paperwork?
Yep. Just like Islam got Moorish paperwork too.
And Baby from Cash Money got Moorish paperwork too. They naturalized his too. I saw his paperwork.
Right.
I think RZA got his. I mean, I know he has his, but I don't know what temple he got his from. But he got that naturalized paperwork too, seal on it and everything.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to Latif Bey, man, for still bringing that work.
Yeah. Islam to the good Muslim son Latif. Stay going. Wire jaw and everything still going.
Wire jaw.
Wire jaw because of Moors. Not because of some Europeans.
He was helping.
Not because of some Europeans. Some Moors. Oh, well, back to that thing. Go look up nationality. And then go look up naturalization. Temple 13 naturalizes. Nobody you're Moorish American because you're descendants of Moroccans born in America. So you're already born to make you a Moor. Right?
You can't change that. Nobody can change that. You can't change it if you want to. You can't change that. It's time to move forward, man. Collectively, man. Like, it just don't make no sense, man. You know, it just don't make no sense. They're like, where this at? Where that's at? Go ahead and create it, man. To get it started. Taj Tariq say, help them more to do great, better work. You feel me? Don't worry about the people personality and their personal affairs, because ain't nobody perfect. But at the same time, help them to do work, man. Just do the work, get it done, man. Get it done collectively, man. It just don't make no sense. All that bickering and all that, man. Look, it might don't work in that territory. It might work in this territory, okay? But we all collectively, come together. Like, I don't see what's the problem. All I see is the problem is dirty. It's dirty for you want your temple. You ain't no more. You in the temple, man. Stop that, man. oh, we ain't Moors, we this and all that, man. Collectively, at the end of the day, we Moors, man. I don't care what it is. You got a nation, you got a nationality. If you don't, you have no standing that law or nothing. And why? Don't get mad at me. The ancestors set it up. The ancestors set this up. Ancient days.
Right. So for example, Khalil, these Moors in Temple 13 follow the Moor who had the scimitar on his fez and called himself a sultan. That's who Temple 13 is down with.
Had the scimitar on his fez and called himself a sultan.
Right. That's
wow.
That's how they exercise. Brother Amazite, more in the chat was asking the reason that Temple 13 kicked you out.
Oh, because they studied me. They study all Moors, man. Just like the corporation, the ABC boys. They study it. They know what time it is.
Yeah, they're watching you too.
I like to come up in there and be humble, but they're like, nah, Amazon, you can't come up in there with all that. We already know. I'm like, I come to chill. And guess what? You feel me? I've been having information for a long time. You feel me? I just actively, you know what I'm saying? Cujo know when I actively. You understand? For a long time, bro. They know what's up. But that's why they kicked me out. They was like, nah, but I look what I did. I went to a temple in damn, I can't think. It's in Pittsburgh. Well, not a temple in Pittsburgh. Correction. In Ohio. Not Ohio. I'm sorry. Akron, Ohio. And I went up and got to the cards and all that, man. Man, I had a blunt the whole service, bro. A blunt. I'm watching videos and stuff. Talking about, oh yeah, you're a Moor now. I came in there green, bro. I'm like, that's what this is about. I'm in this house. They cooking up crack and shit, man. Real talk. They hide behind the temples, man. Talking about, oh, the temple, man. Look, wherever you at, that's the damn temple. They don't have no Moors in your territory. They there, you just don't know. Link up the Moors on social media. Start supporting these social media, man. Start liking these videos, man. Start sharing these videos, get these views and stuff, man. I mean, support is free. That's support. You know, so all these Moors and stuff, man. When I came out, man, came on the set doing that. Now I see all these Moors on social media talking about, oh well, we ain't gonna talk about the right travel and and you gotta live in the hold up. We ain't living in the government. Corporation. Talking about, oh, they talking about the horse and buggy. Nah, man. You pay tolls, right? You peed on my land. You stopped in the water. It ain't deep. But they haven't seen it for that. And what it is, everybody's afraid. Oh, well, you see what they do to leader. Well, if we all the leaders, if something happens, the marathon continues. All these other nations follow that. They knock one off, the next will pick it up. Y'all big and bad, what you scared to die for?
In the back Amazite, when he was saying earlier about they be watching, you know, people watching, I know that for a fact because the Grand Sheik when he came here and we was walking around at the event here and the Nation of Islam came and approached us, you know, and gave us kudos and whatever, bigged up the Moors. All I could think about, I'm from here. I see y'all every day. Y'all never said nothing to me about that, you know, but because Grand Sheik is on every platform, you know, on social media and everything, they know who he was. But then, you know, and that's why I had put that together. I was like, y'all know who he is. Y'all don't know me. Y'all see me walking around with the fez on, but y'all know who he is from the social media. So I know they be watching. You know, just like when we went to Pittsburgh and knocked on the door, the way they came outside, they knew who we was already. They already knew who Grand Sheik Cujo was. They knew that Amazite's event was happening that day. They knew about your event. They know all of that. Just like I know they know. Just like the European who brought me my ID in the library.
Yep.
Like they always watching.
They're watching
something. They're watching.
They gotta be watching. And once more,
how you know I was gonna be here?
And that's how you know that, you know, once you're in the realm of the true and faithful Moors, ain't nothing going down. What is you gonna do? Peter Moon already told you that Noble Drew Ali was no threat. Noble Drew Ali's lessons is not a threat to anything. Like, they want that right now. They can't handle these niggers or whatever.
Sure.
They don't know what to do. That's why they keep killing them. They don't know what to do. All around the world, why do you think they're kidnapping women and all this type of stuff? Kidnapping girls and all this stuff. Because they don't know what to do.
They talk RBA publication, bro.
They're in panic mode. Yeah, they're in panic mode.
Yeah, they're in panic mode, man. Talking about she and the nation and all that. Let me tell you something about RBA publication. Can you read? Do you know what publication is? Like, stop saying that, man. She put the information out there, man. It's a publication. You want to get something on the record? You want a book or anything? Khalifa Media, RBA publication. What's up? Like, stop saying that, man. You know what I'm saying? And we still learn. And if they make a mistake, hey, they'll fix it. But we still learning. Stop that, man. Stop that bull. Talking about, oh, they ain't in there. Wow, she mother. Who higher than us? But anyway, though, it's called RBA publication, man. She ain't never said Nation of RBA public. Like, come on, man. That's for Moors that don't study. You hear me? Moors that be playing the game, man. The rainbow game, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man, me and Cujo, we did a show the other day on a platform. We wasn't molested or nothing. It was rote. No interruption, no volume going out, screen going out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, all y'all Moors that see this, man, support the brothers, support the Moors you see, support the doggone music, you know what I'm talking about? Support books, you know what I'm saying? And just put something together, man. So I'm quiet for a reason. You know what I'm saying? When I step out, you know what I'm saying, it's going to be what it is. But at the same time, I'm not the damn leader. This is the women's job. But they can't step up because these doggone men playing pussy. Pussy clock. Real talk. Real talk. They think, oh, you supposed to take all nice and stuff. Oh, you can't talk that way to me. What you mean I can't talk that way to you? You're a grown man. If you're doing something out of procedure, you're going to be taught. Yeah. You know, we still learn. A student always going to be a student, but a master is always going to be the student.
Exactly.
Shit.
Exactly.
It's not. I got cash out. Let's go. Support the products, man. Support the products, man. Support them, man. Why you think these brothers got products and videos and music and stuff? So we don't have to sell us stuff to you, man. This ain't cheap.
Now we
researching these books and research that ain't cheap, bro.
We could talk about this too. Talk about if we get both of you talk about this. How has RV Bay Publications, that website, got you to where you are right now with regard to the Moorish info?
Man, it jumped me up. Like when my study was, you feel me? It was clear and cut. It took me from how can I explain this? It took me from doing a layup to number 3, and like instantly, like it resonated, like it cleared up a lot, and it gave you. If you didn't know the fundamentals, it brought that, man. It changed my whole life, my whole procedures. You know what I'm saying? I can write a writ. You know what I'm saying, by myself. But I'm studying. They rich and they you know, certain stuff. They had classes. I'm listening with even if I thought I knew something, you feel me? It brought me to a whole nother level, man. And I'm looking at this. I'm like, damn, she put it on the web. The proclamation, you know what I'm saying? Like it opened up my mind to a whole different realm. And I had to step back, like, hold on. Just because I could do this, you know what I'm saying? Because I was in a mood. I said, shit, we should be able to do this. And I'm like, nah. I realized, like Anna E said, you gotta be You gotta be who you say you is.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, just because you can do something don't mean you should do it. I know I can go claim some land, but I'm gonna go claim abandoned property. I'm not gonna go get a mansion and stuff.
Right.
I ain't trying to draw my attention. It's a place to stand out and a place to blend in. Sometimes you feel you got when you're dealing with the people or whatever you gotta do. What you gotta do, reserve your rights and keep it moving. That's what Grand Sheik said the whole time when he was doing classes with them. It helped me out a lot, bro. A lot. It calmed me down. Like, it resonated with my spirit when I was reading these words that these sisters and brothers put together. It resonated and brought me to a whole nother level. You get what I'm saying? Like a whole nother clear picture of who is who's, what and what, the when and the why. That's what it did for me, man.
Straight.
It opened up my eyes to a whole different perspective, man. You know, it changed. It cleared up my concept, man. And then when I realized the more I read and stuff, some of the stuff that Moors deal with, I don't deal with it. It's because I read hours and hours. I know that whole website, man. I took 6 months and just went through every link. If you read one and go click to the next one, click to the next one, click to the next one, then you back on up and then read something. You go to another paragraph. That's another link. Yeah, I went through all of them. Every last one of them links. When she put something new out, I'm right there. I'm like a dog on terror on that when it comes down to that when I go on RVP. Yes. You know what I'm saying? I saw Cujo. I'm like, they got Canaanland? Oh, man, I know it's right. When I saw that, oh, man.
Right.
I said, what? The Canaanland Temple? Oh, man. I said, that's why they call it that. I said, you slick bastard. For real. It helped me out a lot, man. It helped me out a lot.
Yusuf.
Another man left, bro. One day, bro, I was looking at the stars, I just went to go. I ain't gonna reveal everything, man. People be like, it's not to be, a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, don't need to be on the record, but they got Moors that have some gifts, you feel me? I'm one of them. I know a couple of them. Man, it took me to a whole nother level, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's that boy name? Hakeem, what's his name? Divine Warren, what's his name? Hakeem Bay?
Yeah.
When our brother was talking about he was talking about the virtual reality world and whatever. Man, it took me there, bro.
Yeah.
Read the RVP, all kind of stuff was happening. I'm like, damn. I mean, brain cells were connected, and I'm like, oh my goodness. This is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? It's an online university for free. No membership. No subscription.
Right. That is true.
So why hate? Why hate on that? Why hate on that? What is so wrong with having a free website for people to go learn about Moorish history, culture, law, and science? For free.
You go to these big time universities, spend thousands of notes for BS. For BS. RVB Public. Ain't nobody tell you about Black's Law 4th edition, 1, 2, 3, 4, and sometimes 5. They don't. More RVB Publications. I don't know if Amazon's still going. I don't want to cut his wisdom.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, I'm just adding. Right, I'm just adding on to everything Brother Amazon was saying, because like he said, you go from a layup to shooting threes to the whole thing. Man, RVB Publication saved my life. Like, that's serious. Like, they saved my life. Like, physically, mentally, they saved my life. Saved me. Because it was downhill. Everything outside of RVB Publications was dumb nigger for me. My foundation was RVB Publications. I didn't run into no other websites. At this time, wasn't really no other websites like that. It was just RVB Publications. And that's an online university. You know, it's not just a publication.
Right, brought you right back to the prophet, bro. Right back to him.
And I'm glad you mentioned that because nobody else talked about Noble Drew Ali. All these other whatever was out, you know, coming into the information. Nobody told you about Noble Drew Ali. RB Bay Publications told you about Noble Drew Ali. And anytime I get into some writ, I gotta write a writ or I need some information for something, it was always go back to RB Bay Publications. Like to the point where literally I could type in what I want. Like I would go to Google, type in what I want, and put RB Bay Publications at the end of it, and it'll pop right up and it'll send me straight to it.
Yep.
That's how great RB Bay Publications was. Like I already knew what I wanted, put RB Bay Publications behind it, and we getting it. I knew if I wanted a real constitution, I had to put the Constitution and put RB Bay Publications behind it. Like I knew who had the real one.
Right.
I had to go every time, anytime, anything. If I wanted to, okay, well, what's wrong with me today? Why do I feel this type of way? Oh, RB Bay Publications. Every time.
Something's coming up.
They had it all.
Yeah.
What should my diet be like? Oh, RB Bay Publications. Every time. How should I raise my child? Oh, RB Bay Publications. Yeah, everything was on RB Bay Publications. Everything. It was like the mothers knew this is what our children are going to need. It was just like that's how I felt when I went on it. Like, because they had the answer for everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything I wanted to know, they had an answer for it. It wasn't even when I would try to go off and find something, it would bring me back to RB Bay Publications. It would bring me back. Like, oh, you want to know stuff about that? You got to go to this website, RB Bay Publications. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where that's at. And that's how I know too. Besides just it helping me, everybody's foundation starts from RB Bay Publications. All these new websites that's coming out, and all these new video guys that's coming out saying I'm the guy, all of them learn from RB Bay Publications.
And
all of them.
Guess what? I had the mother at my house.
Yep. Oh, remember that? Remember that? That was one of my favorite moments in my life.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that moment. Yo, give thanks for that, Moore. Give thanks for that big time, man. That was one of my favorite moments in my life. I'll never forget that. I know I'm over talking you, Amazite, but I'm happy about that, bro. I'm very happy, man. I'm give thanks for that big time. That touched me big time, man. Big time. I'll never forget that. Never. I will never forget that moment. She sat there in that chair, and all of us sat at her feet while she talked. We was literally sitting on the floor all around Amazite's domicile. Amazite set up all of that. That's why they kicked you out of the temple over there. They know what you was doing. They know what you was doing. They knew what you was doing. That was a great day, man. The mother was there.
Yeah.
We was sitting at her feet. Literally. It was one of the happiest moments of my life. I'll never forget that.
Yeah,
Never.
I don't see her sit with no dirty Moors.
Nope. That whole thing.
All the way they drove. You hear me?
Yep. She gave me some dandelion root tea that day. Gave me goosebumps. The size of golf balls on my arm. And she's standing right next to me. I said, yo, look at me. Look at that she gave me. Look at my body. Look at me.
It worked because she gave me some. She's like, you a headache? I was like, yeah, right before we went on. I was like, damn, I got a headache all of a sudden.
I remember that. You had a crazy migraine. I remember that.
Yeah.
She was like, matter of fact, she gave me her cup.
That's what it was.
She drank it. I said,
it wasn't the tea, it was the cup.
I'll go get some. She said, nah, you gonna drink it right here. I'm like, all right. When I drunk it, it went away like that.
Like that.
When Moors get together. When Moors get together, yo. It's a beautiful thing.
And what has Army Day publication done for me? Are you crazy? I remember taking trips to Harlem class, taking trips like, okay, getting the Moors together over here. Like, it was crazy. More scared to ask they Moabite because, like, you know, we trying to go out. We trying to go to the Harlem. And it sounds different. You know, like, in our back day, we like, what you trying to go to the city? Because that's how we would talk. Yeah. Like, what y'all about to go do? Like, y'all go, we trying to go to class. It was a whole different life change thing. You know what I mean? We trying to go to class. We trying to get to class more. It's going crazy.
Accelerated, man. Accelerated.
Yeah. Okay. That's the first time I seen a Moor lie to get out of work, and it was a good time to lie to get out of work. I said, this a great time to lie to get out of work. Not just lie because you tired. I want to go home and just chill. Like, yeah, you need to call and get out. We got to go to class. We got to go to class today. Yeah, I'm gonna call your job and tell them something's wrong at home. Yeah, you need to come home. We got to go to class.
Oh, hit this one up too. What was that? Because people have got caught up in the online learning. What was going to class like? Like, what was
going to class?
Yeah, like going to class and then seeing the people who you've been studying. You know what I mean? Or going to Pittsburgh.
The whole thing. You know what I mean? That whole thing. The build, just parking on the street. The whole thing was crazy. I'm so serious because when you park on the street and you park, you get out and you're like, because I forget where I'm at. You know, it's what is it? It's right there where the main culture stuff is at. Like when you get to Harlem, it's where all the so-called black stuff is at. Right? So when you get out and park, you're lit. Right. So when you get out and park, I start walking, and I'm looking. I'm like, oh, this where Sonetta and them be standing at. I'm literally standing right in front of the place, and I'm like, oh, this is where so all of this is on my mind. Yeah. You know, and I start thinking about all the Moors that came over here. Taj done been over here. I done seen a seer over here, and I'm like, wow, I'm standing here. So that really set with me, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, this is crazy. This is where all the Moors be at. Like, where everybody be at. So the even from parking to getting to the place was amazing. You know, like, it was, I remember it was around so-called Christmas time, and even the neighbors, you know, where I'm at, I'm used to seeing European Santa. I'll get to Harlem, I'm seeing more Santa Clauses everywhere, and I'm like, oh, this is different. You know, like, is that where I'm at? No, I don't see that. And so I knew it was like a big culture difference. Like, oh, this is really where my people was at. So it really was like big time different. You know what I mean? Like, okay, you know, even walking around, I'm noticing I'm not getting as much looks I would get at home with my feathers on. I'm like, okay, because y'all be around here with y'all feathers on. Yeah. Like, everybody's used to y'all being around this area. So then, me and the two Moors, so it's three of us, me, my brother Kamari, and brother Waya, we going inside, and as soon as we go inside, the Moabite, he's sitting there, right, like sitting for people to come in, you know, just to see who's coming in, basically. So we're coming in, and first thing the elder says to us is, kings travel in threes. I said, what? Like, that's the first thing she ever said to me. I'll never forget that. She said, kings travel in threes. And I'm like, wow, where the heck am I at right now?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, all three of us got our feathers on. It's crazy. You know, it was all crazy. It was crazy. And I'm not, Class 80s hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look what all of this. And then, you know, the sea mother Anita, that was the first time I met Mother Anita. That's a you wanna know some powerful, that's a powerful Moabitess right there. Mother Anita is very, because even when I looked at her, I couldn't look at her. And I was like, yo, why you can't look at her? I don't know what it is, but I felt like I did something wrong.
Yeah.
You know how you be like, okay, she caught me. She caught you doing what? Like, that's how I felt. when I seen her, like she was that powerful to me. I'm like, yo, that's the one. That's the lady right there. She's the one. And lady means master in the dictionary. But so she starts going in. I've seen the Mufis. You know, there's the Mufi I had in class. I did the lecture with. I met him.
Yeah.
You know, like so. I met him. I saw Red Pill was there. I saw it was all this, like they said when they was doing the show, and they were saying how all these Moors used to come to class, to the Harlem classes. That was true. They were really all there. I saw Miz was there. Everybody was there. Everybody's there. Just and when you go into the building, the mother it's a building, and so I saw what's the rapper's name from back in the day? What's the name was his grand sheet? Nature was his grand sheet.
Oh, Bam.
Bam, yeah. Bam. They have their own room. They had their own room with a meeting going on. You know, so I'm walking through there and I was like, oh, they go Bam. You know, and they had a whole bunch, and they had a room, and I think Nation of Gods and Earth had a room. Like it was a bunch of rooms in there with all of our people. You know what I mean? And then I will never forget. This was the crazy thing. This was the first day I smelled sage. I've never been around sage at this time. Never. Didn't know what sage was. But I knew it was a scent in here that was messing with me. And I'm like, yo, what is that smell? What is that? It was everywhere. It was anywhere you go through the whole building. It was just the sage. It was just the sage. That whole night, I could not sleep. Got home after class, could not sleep. And I'm like, yo, what? It was the energy from class? Was it the stage? But I'm telling you, that whole first night of Harlem, going to class out there, couldn't even sleep when I got home. And mind you, class is over at 9. You know, we leaving here at 5 o'clock to get to Harlem for 7. Yeah. You know, and then when class is over at 9, we getting back. You know, and it's not just class is over, everybody leave. No, it don't work like that. It's probably over at 9 o'clock. We leaving like 10:30. You know what I mean? Like that's what happens. Yeah. So we left like 10:30. We try to go find somewhere to get something to eat before we get on the road. I get home, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. 2:30 in the morning. And all you want to do is study anything you got from class and sit there and it's like, yo, I saw Mother in a need. And then, you know, I'm back on the phone with the Moors. Like, we didn't just, wasn't with each other. You know, like, can you believe this? Next thing you know, it's 7 o'clock in the morning the next day. He's sitting there like, yo, sun coming up.
Yeah.
All off of the first day of class.
Let me ask you about this, though. Do y'all remember the St. Benedict Moor Church?
Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, it gave me a lot of memories.
Big old statue with the so-called KKK guard.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It says St. Benedict the Moor, not St. Benedict the Black. St. Benedict the Moor, but the statue is so big.
And then around the corner was the school. The school was around the corner, St. Benedict the Moor School. Like, what the hell? What is this? This what's going on?
We're talking to the children going to the school. That was bugging me out.
Oh, yeah, that too.
And it was like we just go to the school. We didn't know we was Moors.
Yo, they didn't know, no idea. And the temple down the street. The temple down the street. All of that was, the temple was down the street from the school. None of this was far. All of this was in the same community, the same area. We saw all that. Remember, we saw the star, the 8-corner star, carved into the church.
Yeah, the huge star,
like it was ancient though. Wasn't like it looked like somebody knocked a siding of the wall down, and the 8-pointed pentagram star was right. The 8-pointed star was right there in hiding. I think the building was closed. Was the building closed?
Yeah, they didn't want to let us in. Now they had the fact she didn't want to let us in. Because I had called up there, she didn't want to let us in. I had told her and everything. And she was like, come on over. When I got there, remember she acted like she wasn't there in the window. She didn't want to let us in. I said, it's all good, but when we went to that church, though, on the side,
we went to the big one.
The big church here, they got when you walk up in there, right? And you go to the pew or whatever they call it, right? They got a big old European statue, but on the left side, they got a brown statue with him and his mama. You hear me?
Oh yeah.
And that's where they go pray to. That's who they go pray to.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
too.
But you gotta talk about how they let you in, Amazite, because that whole thing was crazy. How we just got to just come in, because church was closed. It wasn't service day or nothing like that. It was just a regular day, and Amazite came to the front. European comes. I forgot who was it. A European guy, European lady. Forgot who it was, but it was. Did we get buzzed in or something like that?
And wasn't there a buzzer? Wasn't there a buzzer or something? Yeah, that's the buzzer or something. Yeah.
It wasn't regular. We got like buzzed in
Yeah,
or
it
something
was
like that.
crazy.
Yeah, once I say Amazon bed, they're like, come on. They was like, you need anything?
Buzzes right in. Buzzes right in.
What y'all need?
Yep.
What y'all need?
Yep. And I bring that up because when we went to go knock on the Moorish Science Temple, you know how you knock on somebody's door and you think he's gonna come in, but they come outside and close the door behind you. Like, that's what they done.
We had to peek through the mailbox just to see in there.
That's what we did. Oh, you remember? We had to open up the door mailbox, the flap in the door, to let them know we out here. Like, yo, we out here. We see y'all in here. And then somebody came.
They're playing like nobody in there. And we
all of that.
Hold up. Say, hold up, man.
Like that must have been a crazy. Yeah, that must have been a crazy situation to be in there, and some people are looking in the door flap at you in the middle.
Like, what are y'all doing up in there? Come on, it's supposed to be open.
It should be open. The door should be open. It shouldn't even be locked. The door should not even be locked.
Just in there chilling. They must be getting some type of side funding or whatever. All the lights on. You know what I mean? You know, they're just in there chilling. Come on, yo. No sign, no nothing. And then when you open
no sign, no nothing.
We had to hunt. We like, is this it? Hold on.
Yeah, because we was looking for it on the
Google map. Because it was the GPS. Yeah, it was the GPS. And we were looking for it. Yeah. Yeah, we're like, it's supposed to be right here.
I'm looking at the GPS, and
it's
I'm looking at this building. I'm like,
yeah,
this is it right here.
This is it. Like, this ain't it. Where's the sign at? Well, the GPS says right here. You're like, what the hell do you mean right here? Okay, knock the door.
Not gonna do it.
Nothing.
We had to do a secret knock, huh?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That was secret knock day. Yeah, that was secret knock day.
Yep, that was Friday. It was,
came out the door, shut the door, and stand in front of the door, bro.
Yeah,
like,
yep.
What y'all want?
What y'all want?
We
want?
Like, what?
We got fezzes on. What do you mean what we want?
What you mean?
Everybody got fezzes on, bro. Everybody.
Like, how are you not looking at us like yourself? Like, what do you mean? What do we want? Like, you're inside. We want to go inside. What do you mean? What do we want? Come on, yo. Right?
Everybody. That's why I said, I know they know who the Grand Sheik was. That's like when you mention, I don't care, like, if any of these, if Abdullah come knock on any of the Moors in the chat, any Moors on his phone right now, if Abdullah telling Mosey Bay come knocks on your door, y'all know who that is. Y'all know who Brother Abdullah is. Y'all know who Mother Roz is. Y'all know who Miz is. If he come knock on your door, y'all know who that is. So when y'all saw Green Sheik Coolidge well, knock on the door, they knew who that man was. They knew who he was. They knew he was. Just because we all in this, so-called conscious community, whatever. We know whoever Sarnetta come knock on the door. We know who Sarnetta. Everybody in the chat too. Everybody in the chat gonna know.
He ain't coming
Yeah, we know he ain't gonna do that. We know
he ain't come knocking.
Frank Gary is not knocking on nobody's door.
They ain't come
He
knocking.
would never do.
No way.
But I'm just saying, y'all would know if y'all saw him in the store, y'all would know who he is. Y'all would know. That's how I knew. They knew who it was like. You told them, this is my Grand Sheik. And we outside standing on the curb doing this. We not inside, where the lights is on and, we're feeling welcome with our feathers on, we're brothers and all, none of that. None of that.
Like, what you want, man? What you want? Like, they selling crack or something in that mud.
They're literally not. That's what they say. What you want? That's what they said that. What you want?
I'm like, wow, bro. I'm like, are you serious?
Go back and tell mom. I remember when we went back and told mom. What mom say? Y'all want to go back? What mom say? Y'all want to go back? Cause it's like, yeah. Like, that's how your mom get. That's how your mom get. That's how your mom get.
She was ready.
She was Dirty Moors. Just get rid of him.
And Fed YB was like, come on. You know him.
Oh yeah.
No. Let me ask you about this too. Moors who are saying that when Canaanland, specifically Kudro, talks up on whatever social media or video or whatever like that with regard to Dirty Moors, and people say that it's Moors fighting each other and making it look bad for the Moors. What do you think about that?
Let me say this real quick, Emmett, right? And then you can go ahead and kill it. Real quick. Let me say it real quick. It's just I love that thing. The thing is, Moors like that. That's like the old saying, like if you're not fixing the problem, you're part of the problem. So like they just gonna let that go. Like let the Dirty Moors do their dirtiness and just let it ride. But to me, if you see somebody doing wrong and you didn't do nothing about it, you did wrong with them. Like you can't do that. You can't just see somebody getting raped or something like that and you be like, oh, I'm just minding my business. Well, because they're brothers and like what are you talking about? You gotta do something. That's wrong. You can't see some old lady get hit by conveyance and the conveyance keep going and you do nothing. You look at the old lady like, well, it was a Moor that hit her, so they shouldn't be bickering. And now no. That's why the Dirty Moor should always get checked because you're doing something wrong. Your mom, if you did something wrong in the house, your mom's gonna come over there and pop that behind. You just don't get, he's, that's how he is. No. My mom's gonna bust that behind. My mom's gonna bust that behind. And that's what I love the Canaanland Moorish platform for that. Because a lot of people, the favorite line, I'm grown. I don't care. I'm grown. And the Canaanland Moorish platform is to smack all of those people who saying that I'm grown. You're incompetent. You're incompetent. You're not thinking. You're about to get all of these lessons right now because you're incompetent and you're not thinking. I yield the floor. Him is like,
well, I put it like this. I don't like the victory, but at the same time, with the information coming out, people can't even differentiate who is who and what is what. So it needs to be addressed from time to time. And the prophet called it dirty moors. You see what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? We got the platform. Why not? Why not tell about themselves so you know who is who and what is what? It ain't no yelling, man. It's not who's right or wrong, who's acting with the fact. And these dirty Moors, and I say dirty because they know what they doing. So it has to be addressed. For the simple fact is, why can't we use everything at our disposal? These so-called temple Moors, they're the ones with the most problem, right? But you ask them, why don't you use your power to stop these colonies? Why don't you use these powers to start these businesses or whatever you need to do? Why don't you use it? We supposed to just kumbaya pray and that's it. You're not even doing stuff in the community. Like, I just don't get it. So they gotta be called. They just we just use it. Well, why you ain't using ecclesiastic or canon law since you want to be under canon law so bad? Why don't like a Freemason?
Right? Sound like some type of Freemasonry, whatever.
Right. They do everything for each other, but not for the community. That's what them Freemasons do.
I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? But it has to be addressed because they dirty Moors. And they got Moors. You see, like, what's going on? It ain't no bickering because the Moors that stand, you know, we draw the stand. Like, what's up? There's Mason Moors. There's these types. We all Moors. I don't care what kind of Moor you say you is. We Moorish American. We Moors at the end of the day. You feel me? There's laws that apply to us and laws that don't. All I'm saying, why don't we use all that? Spiritual law, ecclesiastic law, law of the nation, international law, the law of our ancestors, royal law, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop that, man. Like, you just sitting there talking about this and all that. Well, okay, well, show us the real way then. Because if you'd have put the work out, we would have had that problem.
Exactly.
Show us the
which is
you know what I'm saying?
which is where my issue comes in. That I've been out here since 2008, and you people just came yesterday. So don't tell me anything about you have some remedy for the people or whatever, because we've been around. And the only people with remedy are the ones who we say are master teachers. Everybody else playing you. Simple as that. That's just what it is. That's just what it is. You know, think I'm doing this for something. I'm not doing this for something. I ain't getting nothing from this. Now, what am I getting from this?
None at all.
I ain't getting nothing for
None
this.
at all.
Like, this is what I choose to do with my time. I choose to say, you know what? You've been talking enough BS as a Moor. I'm gonna call you out because you're talking BS, and I'm seeing your views and your subscribers and your whatever else going up, which means you're causing confusion because all those people who are riding with you are confused. And we know that they are confused because they don't study. And we know that they don't study because people are playing followership and leadership games with people like they're the ones with all the info. It doesn't work like that. This is about people's birthright. Give them their stuff and let people be. Give them their birthright. It's for them to do whatever they want to do with it or not do what they're going to do with it. That's up to them. There's nothing to do with you. We put out the information, we go about our business. You might get 1 or 2 emails, and we already know there's only going to be a handful that full saves, so that's what we expect. We're not expecting no full voicemail of people calling talking about something. They want to know about how to be a Moor. We already know that the people are lost. We already know that they're lost. The problem is the people taking advantage of the lost people. And again, you want to recreate some wheel. You realize Canaanland Moors doesn't have a website? You know why? Because we already have a website. We don't need another website teaching us about Moors. We already have one of those. Jump on something else. I know that I put out specifically Moorish hip-hop because I didn't see that out there. All I saw was people playing games. Today they're Moors, tomorrow they're black guys, next week they're whatever. They're not staying consistent with this is Moorish. And ever since Iron Sheik won, the amount of music that we put out, we didn't put out that music to go platinum. We put out this music for little brother to be in the back talking about, put on the Iron Sheik CD. That's why. They put this out for some popularity. We put this out for that one more to run that CD into the ground. Play that so much that it stopped playing. Just because it resonates with them. You know, it's not for everybody.
Right.
Not for everybody.
Right. What's that sister name? I'm about to tell you her Instagram. She got a band called Eat the Cake. I think her name is. She got that YouTube when it's talking about Pharaoh. What it's called?
Oh, Pharaoh's Army?
When she got
Yeah, Misery. Yeah.
Man, what was her appellation?
Misery, wasn't it? Yeah, Misery.
Yeah, I be on that, man. That's like, you know what I'm saying? She another one. Put out that music, you know what I'm saying? Like they ain't trying to go platinum. It's to raise the vibration, man. You know what I'm saying? Give you an alternative because they got more children that don't listen to none of that, man. They want their own music.
Yep. Straight up.
You know, whether they with the information.
And like it's the theme is you are gonna save yourself. We're not, all we're doing is giving you a reference point. That's it. We're giving you a reference point. We're giving you a reference point through books sometimes or through personal experience. Personal experience. Books. Some type of literature. Because people have been playing games with this. Don't let them play games. As soon as they start talking that BS about, they're talking about Moors and that makes the Moors look bad and all that, you know that those are the cowards.
Right.
You know that those are the ones that would not fight for this. Like Noble Drew Ali told them, defend this your very life should be on the line defending the movement and the Prophet. Why? Because we know what Dirty Moors did to Noble Drew Ali. We know what they did to him. I'm not going to be here forever. But while I'm here, you're not playing no games. When I'm here, I'm not taking any BS from you people. Oh my gosh, he violated the Prophet because he said a swear word. But these people never wrote one book, but they're talking about violate the Prophet. These people never gave one. These people never gave one young Moor a certificate of appreciation, or gave them a barbecue, or gave them a birthday party, or whatever to inspire them in their Moorish paradigm. But Kudro said a swear word and he's violating the Prophet.
Wow.
These Moors showing pictures.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Showing pictures of them. Showing pictures of them doing whatever they're doing.
Pussy class.
And nothing to show.
Pussy class. Straight with the ears, man.
Oh, well, Ibra Bay. Well, the Moors tried to start a credit union, but Moors who are in the temple, who are the pastor Moors and the church Moors and the religiousized, dogmatic, passive Moors, shut that down. Shut that down. They didn't support it because they were telling their members that he's not really a Moor Science Temple and all that stuff, so don't support that. So that's why there's no Moorish bank. But don't get it messed up, because Hindustanis have a bank and they're Moorish. And Asians have banks and they're Moorish. So don't think that there's nothing. Because like Noble Drew Ali said, your brothers from the East are going to come and help you. Okay, so if they're my brothers, that means we're family, right? So if I'm a Moor and Noble Drew Ali said my brothers from the east are gonna come and help me or whatever, then that would mean that my brothers from the east are Moors. And I guarantee you, the Hindustanis and whoever have banks.
All boils down to that, man. What you standing on? Like, what you standing on? You standing with these dirty Moors? Or are you standing with these brothers, man? Like I said, man, y'all got something going on, man. Y'all got to come together, man, collectively support, man. We all, man. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we giving reference cards, giving keys, finding where we, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got a collective, you got a living library. We find it, digging up, we don't hold it, we put it on the record. So
exactly. Exactly.
They hold it back. Oh, they ain't ready.
People aren't ready for that. Reach them where they are and all that BS. People aren't ready for what? Noble Drew Ali took away all the secrets. What do you mean people aren't ready? It's 2020. They're not ready yet.
That's another one I don't like when they use that one. The people are not ready. I'm pretty sure Imazite Bay's son is under 20. My son is 11. So, and he's been getting it since, since I woke up, he's been getting it. So what do you mean they're not ready? The children are getting it.
Privacy is for the young and unborn. What you mean?
So why wouldn't an adult get it? Unless they being compromised. And that's what, as we can see in
that's the whole point.
China,
yep.
all those young, it was the youth out there protesting. Not none of the elders, because the youth knew it. The elders are compromised.
Mm-hmm.
They going to work. They getting the check. They took the check. No matter how we want to looking at it, we're taking the check. We're taking the check. The youth was like, we don't got to take the check. We don't got. I know what we can do. And they out there calling. And since the youth did that, now all of a sudden, coronavirus. And I'm like, yo, look at that. Is that a coincidence? Huh? And you got this big time marching and picking in China, and then a week later, coronavirus. I'm like, yo, look at that. Coronavirus.
They had to calm them down with something.
Right.
Yeah, they had to do something. But at least they did something.
Yep.
At least they did something and did it with a nationality. And they wasn't out there destroying no businesses, no mom and pop shops.
Yep.
Actually, the mom and pop shops was making them food, sending it to them. Sending it to them. Sending it to them like, yo, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. We know we're compromised. We know we can't do what y'all do.
And this is another thing too. Another thing that these individuals do is they try to make it seem like online and social media is the reality, and the reality doesn't count. Right? So they're going to talk about, oh, well, you're going back and forth on the social media, and then that's making the Moors look. What are you talking about? 90% of those pages are fake. What do you mean?
Trolls, all the trolls.
The hell are you talking about? People aren't really on those. Whoever's on those are the ones that you actually see make a comment or whatever. And then when you look in those comments, we're talking about the standard ones, not the ones like ours where we know Moors who are on here. Majority of people on here, I either got an email from them or I got a phone number for them. So I know that they're real. We're talking about the ones when you go on where the chats go in so fast you can't even type nothing and be in any conversation with anybody. Talk about using the chat to learn something. So watch for them people who try to make it seem like social media is the new existence. Oh, because it was on social media, then that means that whatever. Like we said, that's why we uploaded the audio, because we tell you all the time, Let them talk, and they would tell on themselves. We say it all the time. We say it all the time. That's why we took the audios that were sent to our Canaanland Moors IG messenger. And we put it up to show you what comes into our messenger. This is what RGS deals with. These type of people who he doesn't want anything to deal with, but they're leaving messages. Gave him the ultimatum. If you want us to have any type of conversation, you're going to make a public apology to RV Bay Publications, because that's my master teachers. Well, I don't got to do that because Taj said, and Hannibal said, and this person said, and that person said. I don't care about them. They have nothing to do with nothing right now I'm talking about. I'm talking about you. Oh, you don't want to apologize? All right, then ain't nothing for us to talk about. We keep calling you out as a dirty Moor because we know only dirty Moors diss RV Bay Publications.
They want the spotlight. That's all.
Let me tell you again. Only dirty Moors diss RV Bay Publications website. Only dirty Moors do that. Anybody talking BS about RV Bay Publications, I don't care what they say. If they find one thing wrong with that website, they're a dirty Moor. Watch that more. Because nobody can diss RV Bay Publications for the amount of work that they've done for nothing.
They got blog talk shows breaking everything down.
Please. And then they're gonna go in their they're gonna go in their little group chats. They're gonna make group chats and talk in the background about people should be deleting their social media because you're making the Moors look bad on social media. What do you mean look bad on social media? Is a bad look in the first place. Why do we even need that to communicate with each other? Pick up the goddamn phone and call somebody. Hell you talking about? You think every text I get from Yusuf would call me? I'm talking about the hell? You're not talking about nothing. I'm talking about going on social media.
When they come down to have a conversation, they want you to come on their platform so they can overthrow you.
Right, exactly.
We got an app phone. We got an app where we can talk at the same time. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, we can see you, bring you facts. Ain't no trick, ain't no audio, ain't no cutting, splicing, showing video, doing all that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to sit down at the table? Come out there, because I want to have a conversation. I told them. You feel me? Y'all check that.
All you people who have some issue with Kudrow or whatever like that, our representative is Amazite Bay. Go talk to him if you want to talk to GS. Call him up. He'll have a conversation with you all day. You call him up. If you want to have a conversation with the GS, you talk to Amazite Bay. We're putting that on the record.
And guess what? Just go Google, go to Instagram, RG Royal Gang, and you can make phone calls on IG. You can make group chats on IG, and another platform we can talk at the same time.
Right. Because
you're not gonna play that. Oh, you get 2 minutes, I get 2 minutes, and then when it's your turn, you're gonna cut them off, right? You're gonna let them talk.
Right.
We're not gonna play the so-called Pharaoh's rules.
Yeah. Or
when they come on this platform.
Or you try some.
I called him 5 times. The chick gave me his number. Called him. He didn't want to talk to me. I just wanted to talk to the brother when he first started on some about stuff. But he didn't want to talk to me with all this metaphysical and stuff. All he wanted to do was build his YouTube channel, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But don't be trying to say, oh, we ain't more than metaphysical and all that, licking your lips and all that. Come on, brother. You gotta that's funny, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's funny. Because guess what? Then, shout out to Dolo. Shout out to Dolo, King of the Moors. You feel me? He went up in there. Man, you got the ABC. You're an agent, man. You got the ABC, boy. I don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? Because you call it the ABC. What you call the ABC? Why you don't got your own people that, you know, you so-called whatever? You just like Sonetta, man. Get the people finance running, man. Yeah, I called you out, Pharaoh, and you know what I'm talking about. I could call the chick, and I still got the receipts, and I keep everything. You ain't want to talk to me. You know what I'm talking when you was talking about the Moor. You're a Moor, but you ain't qualified. None of y'all, all these people making you ain't qualified, and a European that's talking about you ain't qualified to talk about because you said you ain't a Moor, so you ain't qualified to talk about.
There you go. There you go.
Exactly.
You're not a plumber, so you can't deal with plumbing.
Straight.
This has something to do with DNA, man. You can't tell me like somebody told me, oh, well, you wasn't none. That's my answer. That's my forefather. You understand? So you can't tell me if you said something your else forefather. Well, guess what? You feel me? Stay in your place when you're talking to them more and go work. You gonna put your butt to work. That's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Over the boys and slaves, such and such. Well, you said you didn't want to be more. Get your butt on this plantation and pick that damn cotton for me, then, boy. Straight up.
And my thing too. As soon as you ask them, okay, we're not Moors. What are we? They start that stuttering stuff.
Mm.
Well,
where they
what?
Where they history at? Where the laws that some way can be documented? Well, I was documented. Our stuff documented. Why is not? And guess what? They always want to talk about the Moors in Spain. But guess what? When they do talk about the Moors in Spain, they dog people in Spain, Islamic.
Mm-hmm.
So who
started? And they talking about right here too.
Yeah,
Spain was right here in 1492 too. In 1492, Spain was right here. With
that scenario, the scenario that they always want to paint it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was dog people, so ain't no way from at first. Oh, the Moors didn't exist, and they this and all that. They look Berbers,
right?
So-called all Americans today. Man, stop playing, man.
Right.
You know,
Ferdinand and Isabella was not Britney Spears and Jim Carrey. That was not who Ferdinand and Isabella was.
When they say the Moors in Spain, they don't show you no picture.
Right.
They don't show you no picture. But guess what? There's a book. I forgot the name of that book. What is it? Land of the Moors and stuff. I put it on the record, and that book cost what, $1,700? Remember, I got that book, and I put it on the record, and guess what? That book came from the Naval, the Corporation Naval War Lodge. They got it out there.
I remember you showing that book. I was mad as hell.
You got pictures like what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Like, stop playing. What are we? We claiming everything. We claiming every name, every misnomer. Not claiming the misnomer, but we know we was called certain names at certain time. At the end of the day, the last legal name is Moor. You know what I'm saying? We was called many things, man. And stop that. You know what I'm saying? And the $1 million question is, and other Moors brought it up, I'm gonna bring it up again. If the corporation had these treaties with all these other people, how come Morocco had to recognize this corporation?
Right. Here.
I don't see no so-called indigenous people and these people going on the record saying that with the Moorish flag.
Yeah. They're not repping the Moorish flag.
You can't choose your mom, your brother, your sister, so you can't choose your nationality or your nation. Period. We did some bad things, we did some great things. Right. Now it's time to move forward. Like, where is your stuff, so-called black man? Where is your stuff? How you gonna say you're the first people on the planet, but yet you can't make a cell phone or a car to push your nation forward? Man, don't tell me about that spookinism and all that. You ain't producing that for the people. Like, stop it. You ain't showing me nothing. Oh, this and all that. What you showing me? Show me in the history book that y'all had any kind of remedy consistently through the time. All I see is more. We the one on the battlefield. You feel me? More than city Moors. I'm gonna say that.
Right.
There's
no remedy for Negro colored blacks because Negro colored blacks don't want a remedy. I tell the man shit that all the time. Mm-hmm. The reason why they complain all the time is because they want to complain. They don't want remedy. Right. These people don't even want remedy. They like to complain. They don't. That's why they be mad at Moors because Moors have the remedy. They don't want a remedy. They want to complain. That's why they don't like Moors. They want to complain. Because I'm like, y'all not getting nothing. What are y'all getting? What y'all get to get? What are y'all getting? Y'all still paying taxes, still paying mortgages, still having to pay excise taxes. What is this benefit that y'all say y'all getting? I would like to know that.
They're holding us up, man.
They love to complain. They love complaining. They love to complain. These people don't want no remedy. They want their children to be in slavery. They want their children to be, oh, I was the first African American. That's a bunch of crap BS. That's something I get my blood boils when I hear people talk like that. Well, he's the first African American. Brother, you have to say African American because the Moors are the mothers and fathers of civilization. We created everything first, but because you took yourself out of the human family, now you African American is like saying you're the first penguin to vote. What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean? Penguins are voting? I know that doesn't matter. No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
What you get out of vote? What you get out of it? Nothing. They've been making promises for years.
Yep.
We supposed to have free healthcare, free housing, free clothing. The only thing you're supposed to be paying on this planet is luxury. That's it.
Yeah. Prophet came in 1913. I was born in 85. I say it all the time. I came here 85. I was supposed to be coming out the womb, feathers up.
Then they be having these temples. They don't even have Sunday school. No civic. No Sunday school.
Tell them again,
no damn Sunday school. They won't even build a school in the community for a couple of Moorish children. So they won't have to send their children. Yeah, I send my children to a colony school. Because guess what? You feel me? Y'all won't put together and make a Moorish school for these children. You won't.
Straight. Nope. And then when you go try and put something together, Moorish is gonna bash you so hard, Europeans is gonna come near and dismantle it.
Yep.
That's what because Moorish is gonna throw. Oh, he taking his. You know how they talk. He taking his kids out of school, not children. He taking his kids out of school. What make him think he qualified to teach his kids at home?
Yeah,
brother. See that? The European did a good job.
European did a great.
Right, bro. You can make our own school system. What's the problem? Other nationalities, they don't put their children. Show me a Chinese. They got a couple Chinese being schools, but I don't. When I saw public school, all I see is European and Moors and that. I don't see no other nationalities nothing like that. They got their own damn school in their own community.
And if they in there, when they get out, they go into school.
Straight.
When they get out of school, they go into real school.
Yeah.
You might get to play your favorite video game a half hour this week. This week, you might get to play your favorite video game a half hour in total.
What these Moors
7 minutes a day.
What these Moors that's claiming his land, put the school on there, man. Put a trailer like, come on, Moors, come on. Let's do this, you feel me?
Yeah.
They got schools for $1. Like, hold on, let me get on Umar Johnson since we right here. Let me tell you.
Yeah, go ahead, Moore. Yo, I love him. I miss Amazon.
I miss the Amazon Bay show.
Umar, whatever your damn name, whatever you do, it's not shit. You don't touch these people fiat. They talking about you go to this school. I don't see where the school at, and you got a doctorate degree, but you calling children black. On top of that, they got schools for $1. For all that fiat that you collected, you could have built 20 schools. 20 damn schools. You feel me? You don't let
I didn't think of that more.
Derek Grace come there and got he ready to invest. Okay? He got a billboard game and all that. You could have been our schools that's abandoned for $1. Okay?
Yep.
Where is the schools at? You got 250? You can pay what? You can pay them teachers $5,000 and start working. Start working. You can pay them so you a doctor. I just don't get that. Like, stop playing. They got schools abandoned now, and they got schools that's for $1. Go to the county.
They got abandoned libraries.
But then nobody's gonna say anything when they do their social media BS and they're in the freaking tub with the mirror on the ceiling, right? Drinking their pina colada after the lecture or the donation drive or whatever.
Yep.
Everybody's still going on there talking BS.
All of them. That's why I'm glad you said it. Doesn't matter if they don't have a fez on either, because like you said, Omar Johnson, who's that Killer Mike guy over there having his drive with Bernie Sanders? Like you said, sitting back after this, we're going to go sip pina coladas.
Yep.
Because they brought up the subject about Moors. Well, he said we need to have a black, we Moors, we this, we that, we need to. And T.I. showed the video of him in Morocco talking to some Moors. T.I. was like, wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, yeah, they all know.
Yeah, but T.I. was like, well, they need to put a plan in place and all that. So, but you already did it. What you mean? You already did it.
No, yeah, it's just that T.I. need to sell one of them Rolls Royces and give it to some Moors who's doing right.
Straight.
Get those T.I. Get that T.I. That's what they need to do. You don't need to have 2-3 mansions. You don't need to have 4 or 5 Rolls Royces.
And worse than that,
all them watches.
Worse than that, they don't even have.
Come holler at us, T.I. Come holler at us, T.I. We got a plan. I can look it up right now. You feel me? We got a minister of finance, minister of education. We got a plan. What's up with it? You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna do that. Because guess what? You know why you ain't gonna do that? Because guess what? You made so much money. Not you, T.I. directly. They made so much money in the system they don't want it. But other nations do business, bro. They put fiat. They hire corporate security guards to police their offense. They don't get no security guard. The big sponsors could make money off. So if they gonna make money off us unknowingly, let's make some fiat knowingly and start moving stuff.
But even the other nations, even though they're engaged in business, they're still doing philanthropy.
Yeah.
They're still doing their donate to their little organizations and all that stuff. Which everything that our people put finance to is always against them. They never put finance to their own. And your own thing that you have is the thing that's Moorish. Everything else that you think that is really us and has something to do with us is an illusion and a fiction, and why we're in the situation that we're in, because we haven't done it Moorish.
Right.
Yep.
That's it.
Killing me. I just seen this brother get a grant. Look, got a grant because he's going to start doing tours of the Underground Railroad, showing so-called African Americans the trail for the Underground Railroad. He got a grant for that. So now he's about to start bringing so-called African Americans on this trail that they think they went on to go from south to the north.
Oh, you talking about?
Got a grant for it.
You talking about the Trail of Tears in Pittsburgh?
No, Underground Railroad.
No, the Underground Railroad. That thing, the Harriet Tubman stuff they talk about.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, they get grants for it. That's what they try to, well, if I'm gonna do something for my people, that's what I was bringing up. Anytime they do something that they say that's for them, for their people, it has to do with slavery, Jim Crow.
Yeah.
Nothing. They don't even do we was kings. They don't even do that. They go straight slavery. It's like, everything y'all do goes back to slavery. Everything. And then they be like, well, you don't want to forget what happened. All right, let's roll with. Let's say I do go with that. Okay, what's the class after this? What's after this then?
I got one. What's that House Joint Resolution where they say that we were scripting our name and heritage?
75, the Philadelphia one, the Moorish American one, yeah.
So we don't go back to slavery. They admitted it. It's an open and shut case. It says that they put that document out to start the conversation, And then right after that, when matter of fact, that's when Cujo came on the scene. I think that was 2000. I forgot what happened. It was 2003 when they put that document out there. They got Bill Clinton, George Bush. They said they admitted this, so it's an open and shut case. And they said we were stripped about name and heritage. We were stripped about name and heritage. So when they want to bring up, when they say, they want to bring slavery up, bring that article up. And if you was stripped of your name and heritage, what is your name and heritage, and what was it before that came out?
Right.
That's what you gotta ask. That's $1 million question. Then, you know what I'm saying, you move forward with all that other stuff, man. Like they came and was like, I don't even hear the Black Lives Matter movement making noise.
Yo, that's done. All that stuff is washed up. You told them.
They got their finance and they got out of there. They got what they needed.
One hit a quitter, shut them up.
Yep. You told them.
And that's that.
You told them.
Did you say Grand Sheik?
Huh?
I told them.
More lives matter, but you don't want to be more. You want to be black. All right, then perish with your organization. You know what I mean? That was founded by a European.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And then taken over
and funded.
And then taken over by the LGBTQ whatever, and then now Black Lives Matter turned into the LGBTQ Lives Matter, and then now blacks have nothing again because you're a clown, like.
And you're wondering why as soon as when they do bring up that so-called Black Lives Matter crap, I'm just gonna say it. It's always some so-called black lesbian who's leading it.
Yep.
The little bush haircut. And I'm like, yo, that's not even you're a woman, but yo, you're not a woman. Biden. You know what I mean? Like, you're killing me. You're killing me right now.
And you might not be a woman if we really think about it.
There you go.
You got a big bump in your neck, wondering why you have a bump on the front of your neck if you're a woman.
Right.
What the hell's going on here?
That's and that, all of that, and they ignore Moorish. They see us, we tear their live feed up. They see us and act like we didn't see it. We didn't, because if they don't acknowledge us, that means they don't have to deal with the with the elephant in the room. Yeah. Even though there's an elephant,
they ain't gonna ask us the right question.
Elephant in the room.
We gonna ask the right question. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was this in their own document? Not what we in their own document. That's been put on the record. That's been put on the record.
They answering questions from people coming behind the elephant. How did you stand behind the elephant? The elephant is in front of them, and they answering questions from the people behind the elephant.
Yeah.
They ignoring that nationality and birthright. Because that's it. Once you mention that, it's all over.
Yeah, but then keep in mind with the elephant in the room also means that certain people aren't making it out the room if that elephant starts moving around too much.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Yep.
So everybody try to be as still as possible to not make the elephant move.
Because once the elephant moves, you start forgetting stuff.
Hey, the elephant's been like that, hold up. So this little chain and this little stake holding my feet, and once the elephant realizes I'm an elephant, he's like, oh, hell no, let me just lift this up.
Hell no.
Causing destruction, just tearing everything down now. And you gotta acknowledge the elephant. And even the people in the room with titles is gonna run once the elephant moves. I don't care who you are. The elephant's moving. You're gonna move. The elephant's moving. I don't care if you're the head of this, the head of that. Once the elephant is in the room and it moves, you move. That's why nobody wants to acknowledge the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
People's titles is gonna get removed. It doesn't matter. It's not gonna be, head such and such, such and such. You gotta get out of the way. It's gonna be like, Larry, you better run. Yeah. That's it. Larry better run.
Got no choice.
Moors, yep.
Got no choice, man. Like Nasheed come out that with that.
Yo, he's killing them. I love him. Like you got him. He gonna talk about we ain't Moors, but he got a website called Us More.
Yeah.
Us More.
Oh my
goodness. A website. He got a video game on iTunes called Moorish Kingdom. Go check it out, Nasheed. But we ain't more.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And then your cover.
The front cover of his DVD too. Yeah, yep. Go ahead, yep.
You're an agent, bro.
Yep.
Big time.
And don't forget, all these guys are friends. The guys who have the app that says more, then the other guy has the paperwork that says more, but then in the open, they're not telling me they're Moors. And they're not telling me that you're Moors. And you really think that the problem is us because we're calling out some people? We're the problem because we're saying, hey, those Moors over there charging people $5,000 for papers. Don't support those Moors. Oh, these Moors violate the prophet. They're against their brother and all this stuff. Like, what? What? All right.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, he'll tell you quick. Oh, all that Moorish stuff is gonna end you in jail. But everything you do is Moorish. Your DVD is Moorish. Your video game is Moorish. Your internet website is Moorish. Us More and all of that. But all that Moorish stuff is gonna end you up in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you do that? Who's paying you?
Somebody's paying.
Who's paying you?
They said, you know what I'm saying? I tell you what, you feel me? Let's make a more movie. Let's go. You know you're gonna make some money off. Let's go. You ain't about that. You ain't gonna get the real. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna put them together. You know what I'm saying? We can play our show. You know what I'm saying? What's good with it? All y'all sponsors out there, what's up? Y'all want to make some money off us anyway? Let's go. Cause I ain't gonna go deep with you. I could, but you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna. We gonna keep it nice and simple. What's that? Cause it's gonna come a day where you know what I'm saying. It's gonna come a day when you gonna want to. You know what I'm saying? That's why these brothers and sisters laying down the footwork. You don't want to capitalize on that, like you capitalize on Chinese. You understand? But like I said, these communities need to be in place, man. Because I see all these other nationalities. They got their own church, big buildings, their own
whatever you name it, they got their own.
They got everything. And
we got churches. They call liquor stores.
You ever saw a Chinese man rolling out of jail? You don't see them in jail and stuff like that. You don't see these other nationals. You don't see no Russians and you don't see these people get locked up. Why is that? You don't even see them go to the mailbox. You don't see them in Walmart. If it is, they're going to get the cold drink two for $1, and they're going to put it in machine and charge you $3 for one.
Yeah.
All right, the stove.
Yep. To add on what you're saying too, with how other nations do, you know, we already know that in so-called Europe, in certain places, the highwaymen out there, they don't even carry firearms. They don't even carry firearms. And I say that because in Europe, they've only had three incidences where in Europe, this is all of Europe, so-called, they only had 3 incidences where highwaymen have killed so-called civilian there. Here, in their so-called United States, their highwaymen here have killed 962 people last year. Last year.
They feel for their life, but they signed up for it. Man, stop playing, man.
962 people they killed last year. That's a war. People don't. That's war numbers. People don't see that. That's war numbers. No. That's King Alfred playing. People don't see that. That's a war number. That's war. When you go back and you read history, they tell you, 700 people died in the war. Well, we had 962. But we don't even know we had war. We don't even know we had war.
Wow.
Islam.
962. Islam, man. Islam.
The Moors in the chat said it was a great build, yo. Gonna give thanks for Brother Amazite for sliding in, you know. Finding some time for the build. You know, we just gotta give honors to the Prophet, yo. You know, a majority of these Moors, I wouldn't know if it wasn't for the Prophet Noble Juali.
Big fact.
Like, what the hell? He put in some work on the soul plane for Moors to find each other and to reconnect. You know what I mean? All the Moors in the chat, Islam to you. The Moors who've been there from day one, found out about the Prophet, got on board, no questions asked, and been doing the best that you can to save yourself, to save your family, and to save those in your surroundings. You know what I mean? Keep doing that good work that needs to be done. And remember that we don't got ego. We don't do this for ego over here.
Nope, right? Not at all.
We don't do this for ego. Like, we really do this to do what has to be done. And that's it. Anybody complaining about how we do things or what we're doing or whatever, watch those people. Because I guarantee you they weren't around in 2008. They just came yesterday and they're trying to make a name for themselves. So don't hear anything that they're saying. You know what I mean? So Islam to all the Moors. Peace and love to all. Islam Moors, you got any close out?
Yeah, Islam. Give thanks to Brother Amazite. Give thanks to the Canaanland Moors and their platform. Islam to all the Moors in the chat. And give honors to the Prophet Noble Juali. Islam.
Honors.
Always, man. Give honors, man. Man. Shout out to the mothers, man. Shout out to Mario. Man.
Definitely shout out to the mothers.
You heard me? And on top of that, man, get at me, man. Let's have a I want to have a conversation with Hannah with it. Because y'all already know what it is, man. So what's up? I mean, if it's all that, we come in love, truth, peace, and freedom and all that, let's have a conversation. Not no sit down, who's toughest and all that. Let's have a conversation, bro. Because guess what? You might have some useful information that we can use collectively. Let's see where it's at. You understand what I'm saying? And just let's strengthen that. Stop all that, you know what I'm saying? All that. Believe that. Let's go, man. You talk about this and all that. So what should we be using? You know what I'm saying? You just want to tell me to sit down and pray. I ain't rocking with that, homie.
Yeah.
I'm not
again,
doing that.
And to put it on the record again, any other Moors out there who got issues with Canaanland Moors and how Kudro talks to people and all that stuff, get at Brother Amazite and he'll talk to you on my behalf. He'll talk to you on my behalf. Hit him up. Run your whatever you want to run by him. If he says it's a go, then sure, we can have some conversations, right? But he's the doorkeeper for GS. If you need to build and you're out there, you got an issue, you think something should be whatever, just get at Brother Amazite. He's accessible.
Easy, man. Easy peasy, man. Let's go,
easily accessible. So peace and love to all Moors. Islam to all. And keep studying. Because you already know you gotta save yourself. Islam Moors.
Dreamy and drooling, falling for the fooling. Mental slaves sell out or get bought out for cooning. Being your example to follow with no strain. Met means mind, so govern and entertain is more than you imagine. Carbon is melanin, Quran and Bible angels are cherubim and seraphim. Riding on the light angles, traveling at warp speed. We created crossbreeds, now we can't walk free. The mind is the plantation, everything is mental. Even filling your brother with lead like a pencil. Mercenaries with chalk, you use bodies as a stencil. If rival gangs won't stop you, barbed wire fence will. It could take more, but it might take less. Cursing your God on Job's cashing the fake checks. Spending fake monopoly money, counterfeit at best. When you see something is wrong, you need to counter as best as you can. You don't need a magic wand or to click your heels twice to escape dreamland. Just use your mind. If you can't relate, you're living in an illusion, slave to the dream state. You just heard about Juali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your east state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shaken by the shoulders, waking from their dream state. If you just heard about Juali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your east state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shaken by their shoulders, waking from their dream state. Invasion. Drew Ali, my water when the fire starts blazing. Running with the holy buckets, the Caucasian. While Asiatics daydreaming, mental stargazing. Not paying attention, but paying taxes and fines. Now said the world is yours, it really meant mine. If I ruled the world, you wouldn't want to be black. You wouldn't want to be a deadbeat dad or be whack for sure. You wouldn't want to be the dirty moral leader, convicted and facing my firing squad either. You won't be put in a box, forget the cedar. Taking tires off cars at unexpired meters. If I rule the world, dirty Moors would hate it. Find them with their wrists slit in bathrooms naked. Find them holding scimitar handles slumped over with suicide notes to Jehovah. If you just heard about Juali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your east state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shaken by the shoulders, waking from their dream state. If you just heard about Juali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your east state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shaken by their shoulders, waking from their dream state. Dream a little dream. Wake up from the nightmare. Dream a big dream. Live your life in fright, scared to change. When everything that grows must do such or stay stagnant. Living your life as a pageant, made of faces with eyeliner and makeup, created by the same ones you call racist. Wake up, allow them their dignity and exercise patience. Don't shock them too hard with electrifying statements. Everything cloudy, mind acting rowdy, hypnotized by Pied Piper, signing rap ungodlies. Having so much influence, youths won't pull their pants up. Looking like a jailbird, begging for some handcuffs. In a dream state, getting grands up for freedom. Fiat is a slave to banks, you better see them. No different than the people are slaves to brand names. Move from dream to reality, change the landscape. He started from the top, don't listen to your man Drake. Only till clan hates and Masonic handshakes don't work. Moors are back, do your homework and assignments. Realize Moorish is the science. Just heard about Juali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your east state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shaken by the shoulders, waking from their dream state. If you just heard about Juali, don't think he's late. He brought nationality and link back to your east state. As Negro and black, we act like we can't see straight. Shaken by their shoulders, waking from their dream state.